Yeah, baby.
Yeah. The Mac is back. Back with another video. Hello, the initiated. My name is Marcus Junnikala, and today we're having a look at Valia, which is a preset pack, a sound pack for Yuhi Diva Synth. And the sound set is by Sonic Underworld, and it's curated by Luftrum, and you indeed can purchase it through the Luftrum website. We've done many Luftrum Sonic Underworld collaboration sound set demos, and we continue to do them because they are awesome. In terms of what this is, there are 200 meticulously crafted analog presets for Diva, aimed at the dark, shadowy depths of science fiction cinema, infused with a dash of Euro noir. Seamlessly blends the futuristic elements of sci-fi with the gritty, realistic undercurrents of European crime and psychological drama. That's very specific. Now, first of all, obviously anything described in that sort of a way, I'm, very interested. You can count me in. In terms of what's in here, they say hard-hitting, pulsating bass lines, deep, punchy basses. These core presets are complemented by an array of infectious loops, arpeggios, and driving sequences. Beyond the rhythmic elements, Valia features brooding, animated, and drifty pads, alongside ominous soundscapes, nuanced sound effects, and delicate polysynths. Cool. So sounds pretty, in terms of the setup here, pretty typical, but that doesn't mean they can't be awesome. And I certainly believe that you can't have too many of those things because, there are a lot of projects out there and you're always looking for that perfect sound. So in terms of inspiration, they describe works of renowned composers such as Atli Övarsson, Marco Beltrami. I don't know if he's Italian, but he's now Ben Salisbury and Geoff. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry, Jeff. It's not like Jeff. Geoff Barrow. Jacob Groth. Oh, that's a good surname. Groth. John Powell and David Buckley. Last but not least, Harry Gregson Williams. Cool. So this also came with a good how to install PDF. Installation is very simple. You just grab and drag. Means grag. Diva Valia does Yuhi soundset directly onto Diva, and then it's installed. So that's cool. They also touch on you need 1.4.5. Jeez, I struggle with numbers. It's getting worse and worse. The Diva version needs to be 1.4.5 or later. Otherwise it might be messed up, so make sure to upgrade that if you haven't. Talk about accuracy mode being great, which improves the sound quality, but also the CPU use. So, and then if it's too much, you can switch to fast. But if you do that, you'll probably miss out on some details. So it's a bit of a trade-off. We're talking about Yuhi stuff, so they can get super intense if your sound is trying to do a lot of things and you don't have a good setup going. They also say enable multi-core options to manage CPU use. When I did that, I was getting CPU clips a ton, but I'm pretty sure it has more to do with Studio One here at some level, and also might be some kind of there's clearly something a bit funky going on there. Might have something to do with some Rosetta stuff as well, but it works better for me without the multi-core put on, so go figure. And for reference, I'm on a Mac M1 max, something like that. That's about it. In terms of what we'll do, oh yeah, the price is $39, $39. And in typical fashion, if you add 2 products to the same shopping cart, you get 10% discount. Add 3 for 20%, and add 4 for 30%. So that seems like a standard Luftrum web shop thing. And I don't know if you get okay, join the Inner Circle newsletter and save 20%. I don't know how these stack, so you have to just find it out for yourself, but you know, worth thinking about. I don't know if there's some discount if you already owned something. I don't think so. I don't think I saw anything like that. But again, I could be wrong. Just make sure to check your email and you'll find out. In terms of the plan for today, pretty simple. We'll try and go through as many of these presets as possible. There are 200, so we'll probably we can't do everything. I'll lose my life and health and sanity if we do that. But we'll try and go based on name description in many cases. I'll try and emphasize some of the categories that I really like ARPs and what did I do? Oops. ARPs and pads and what else? Synth stuff, probably sequences, stuff like that. But I'll try and do as much as possible. We have about an hour to pull this off, so it is what it is, but we'll try and go through as much as possible. So that's the agenda for this video. Again, I'll stick to the sounds that speak to me more, so I'll try and plow through as fast as possible. When I find something that is interesting to me, I'll play it for longer because I can't resist myself. That's not a statement of whether the sound is good or bad. Obviously, that's contextual to what you do. And also, something might click with me today here in the now. 6 hours later, it's going to be something different, and tomorrow it's going to be different. So that's not a statement of whether it's good or bad. So keep that in mind. In terms of what you'll be hearing today, it's only Valia in action. I don't add any effects, nothing. It's just the way Valia, triggers Diva out of the box. I have a limiter on my master bus to make the level decent for this video, but it's set to be as transparent as possible. And I think that's about it. Luftrum did send me this copy, so first of all, thank you to them for doing that. That being said, all opinions are my own, both in good and bad. I haven't been asked to say anything one way or the other, nor would I ever do that. All right, I think that covers our bases. So in terms of what you'll be seeing here, it's going to be super boring because I probably won't go back to the unless there's something I absolutely want to tweak. But other than that, I just want to show you what the sounds are like out of the box, and you'll obviously, as a very experienced synthesizer user, you'll know how to tweak them the way you want. So, but yeah, let's just start playing and start plowing through these. That is the limiter clipping. We'll be doing a lot of level writing here because the sounds fluctuate in level and resonance, and also they do respond to how loud I play, so I try and be as consistent as possible. Hearing a bit of crackling here. As far as I can tell, it's not my CPU. Could be a bit of like limiter overload there. I'll keep an eye on that. But when I tested this earlier, this first preset, it didn't do that. So I don't think it's the library by any means. Very nice ghostly image there. It's sort of the movement from chord to chord feels very pleasant, almost gooey. On this one did see a very big CPU use there. So out of interest, I'm going to turn on multi-core and see whether this makes it worse or better. Yeah, definitely makes it worse, as you can hear. Sorry about the crackling and popping. I don't really want to increase my buffer size either, because it's as big as I feel comfortable doing here. But let's move on. Obviously, these are more issues to do with your system, your setup, and Diva itself. So it's just something you need to figure out for your own setup. Very nice. I mean, in typical fashion, very puffy sound, which is pleasant to listen to. I think we can manage the CPU at this level, so let's keep going. But the limiter is clipping. Very, very nice. I mean, these definitely feel, you can definitely hear that it's Sonic Underworld Luftrum, which is a good thing in my books. Definitely a lot of overlap here so far. I mean, we've played 4 presets with some of the stuff from other sound sets, but again, that's you'd be surprised when you put them side by side in context of a track, and you're like, oh, this definitely serves this vision better. So I don't mind having a lot of overlap, as long as it's appropriate, as long as it's there's actual differences there. But you'd be surprised how often you can have like a general overlap, but when you put it in the context, you can hear, okay, this is definitely sharper in this way or darker in that way, and more groovy, etc., or any other adjective you can come up with. A built-in tension with the pitch shifting. That was the limiter clipping there. these are super nice because it's rhythmic. You definitely obviously have pitch and identifiable tonality in that sense, but it doesn't take any more space than it has to. It just kind of gives you like, okay, here's a sense of, you know, pitch, and then it's percussive, also simultaneously very atmospheric. I also, by the way, again, love in the usage area here in the preset info, it says what mod wheel modulate, you know, mod wheel control does, and it can have other things in there as well, which is super important, super useful, because it saves a lot of time. You don't need to find out yourself. I can just read it, and then I'll be like, okay, well, do I want to do that or not? And then just, you know, go from there. So super important inclusion. I think everybody should do that. Again here, tremendously percussive in just the right ways. And also you could, you know, mix your starting times to make sort of more granular stuff. For example, which is a lot of fun. Super nice, almost like holographic. Again, super percussive, but very impactful, still very easy to listen to. Like that preset could easily get very harsh on the ear, but that's nicely balanced. Very cool. I would do some tweaks there, but I like how it's kind of trying to combine the rhythmic with kind of a cinematic drone-y thing. I'd make the drone sort of more, move a bit more. For my shitty timing. Really cool. Again, very percussive, has this kind of pleasant wet edge to it. Maximally impactful, no harshness. Really cool. Love this kind of stuff, kind of mixing a bit of like retro elements, obviously simple synthesis with a bit of these like techie like vibes. That's very nice. Yeah, super nice. I like how you can just pull some, push some of that noise in there to get that percussive edge. Very nice, very driving, very centered and solid. One of those where you're like, what's happening? Gotta kind of go under the hood to see what it's doing. A bit of like a sequenced element with the pitch. Wondering. That sound really nicely demonstrates some of that analog puffiness that this synth can do. Very awesome. Super good if you want to do that kind of like trance like stuff. Really cool. Again, I would probably pull back a bit of that noise element, or you know, the grit, to make you a bit more focused. But super nice. You could start out with that easy soft version and then go in there. That's, yeah, really awesome. Super nice. I love that kind of stuff. So good. Again, very analog, has that kind of warmth, puffiness, very impactful, super good. All right, that was the ARPs. We're moving into, I believe, Bassline is the category. This is a very big category, so you're just gonna have to be super. Okay, yeah. What time-wise? We're gonna have to select. Based on name. So let's just go with the first one. So yeah, they have kind of like a basic pattern thing going. Oh, that is so good. That nails that sound. I know so many people are looking for that. It like has that, again, the soft edge, all the impact, but none of the harshness. That's very impressive. That would be absolutely fantastic for like a cue, like a tension thingy majingy. Same thing here, super polished, ready to go, instant cue creator. Very nice. That has like a papery quality to it. Again, making it quite pleasing to listen to, even though it's definitely leaning to that sort of harsher end in terms of the frequency balance. I love that. It's like paper tearing. That's the kind of the edge you get when you push the modulation there. Yeah, these seem to be super solid for like that kind of dark, you know, hybrid cinematic tension action stuff. love that. Reminds me of some of the like old Game Boy soundtracks that I really loved. Kind of has that some of that retro edge, but that's a really cool sound. Let's do one more from Bassline. Let's do the last one. Yeah, hits really nicely. Okay, going into basses. Let's do a few of these. Really liking that. That's a good blend of has an organic edge. Almost makes it sound like it's a very processed bass guitar. Very nice sound. I love that. Yeah, I like that retro edge. And again, you get that the edge of the sound is very, it's almost like moist. Very pleasant. Kind of a cue, tension creator, background bass thingy. What happened there? Strong in numbers. Bit of harmony happening there. We're going into effects now. Let's do a couple of these. So that's nice. Kind of like between an atmosphere and a drone and an effect. Well, that chugs super nicely. I would actually take that and turn it into some kind of a bass. Yeah, these are super nice. The effects, you should really go in there, and because like to me these evoke something else than just like an effect I'd put somewhere, but like use it as a atmospheric bass or you know whatever else. So don't be overlooking those. Definitely. Moving into LP, which is, I definitely know what it means for sure. It's polyphonic something. Why don't I remember these ever? Let's play them. Okay, so it's probably low pulse. That's what I'm guessing. Love that kind of stuff. You know, gentle but very percussive at the same time. So you get a nice, very front and very kind of sensitive aspect to it. So that's very cool. Last, low pulse. Has a very nice balance of the low end meeting that. I'm sure that sounded very pleasant through this microphone. Going into pads. I mean, they know how to do these, don't they? Very, very, very nice. Yeah, just there's always in the pads just something jaw-dropping for me. They're super atmospheric when they do these. Again, I mean, they just nailed this stuff. Just, good. Very nice, super atmospheric. the best chords in the world. That is the limiter. Yeah, fantastic, kind of a space pad type of thing. Interesting to find this in pads, but you know, very nice regardless. Unleashed. All right, one more. Woman from the Dunes. I kind of like that. You always want to play the presets in different ways to see how they react. Like, I love this short no element here. That's actually how I would probably use this. SC would be like sync. No. I don't think so. Soundscape. Oh, that has nice grit to it. Alright, going into sequence. real sense of movement and air and imaging there. Alright, going into what I believe to be is Synth, which is our last section. It definitely has those pitchy elements in there. You can just go in there and get rid of them, but very nice washy, kind of a grainy feel to it. So often kind of those type of sounds just get too dense and cluttered and resonant, but that really kind of dissipates its own energy in a very nice way. Like makes it very pleasant in a grainy way. Very nice, gentle, plucky, thingy-majingy. Erotica. Very nice. Again, it has that sort of pleasant graininess. Yeah, you can when you play it, you can feel that it's really digging into the sound. Feels like I actually have an instrument here instead of just this digital collaboration with the computer. beautiful sound. Again, pairs that distortion there is very, very nice. Pairs nicely. I would love that. Just get rid of the harmonization there. Again, very nice distortion. Oh, you know I love this kind of stuff. Let's push the volume a bit. Probably one of my favorites in here. It's just super cool. Anything blippy bloppy, you know, melancholic, lo-fi, you know, count me in. Love this kind of stuff. Again, this kind of reminds me of some of this stuff that Luftrum and Sonic Underworld have done before, where kind of a preset becomes its own instrument. It's behaving in its own ways, and you're like playing keys and figuring out what it's doing, and then you're starting to respond to it. So I love when those kind of, they built those tiny instruments, you know, within instruments, within a preset. Super, super nice. Huge fan of that. Very inspiring. Okay, I think that's a nice one to stop on sonically, but also, you know, it's the last preset we went through. So, cool. Well, summarizing this, again, it sounds very much like Sonic Underworld curated by Luftrum, which again is a praise. It's not a criticism. Been a huge fan of their stuff for a long time, and this definitely doesn't disappoint. It's definitely like sonically has a lot of overlap with some of the other preset packs, but again, that's a praise in my book, because a lot of the stuff in the other packs is fantastic. So I feel like this just like builds the arsenal, specifically and they have many different types of packs, don't get me wrong, but specifically when it comes to this kind of darker, cinematic, maybe a bit gritty. I said dark already, but yeah, that kind of a sonic soundscape kind of adds in that pool. And again, we didn't play everything here, unfortunately, because we can't. There's too much, and I have other things in my life as well. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. So, but even just going randomly in here, the quality is so consistent that, and that paired with the history of understanding what they've done before, seems like the productional quality is definitely holding, and also I'd say improving even more than it has before, because even taking stuff from randomly here, it's so consistent, and those tiny mixing changes are I'm finding them to be more pleasant here and more consistent. So seems like it's getting better. But yeah, I mean, if you like anything in this sort of style, then I'd see this just being like a tremendous addition to your sound pack arsenal, getting more things in that same style. But again, like you'd be, let's say you have a cue, you have a scene, you have a track that you're working on. Oftentimes it's super useful, even if you're dealing with similar types of, let's say, bass lines or pads, etc. When you put them side by side, it's such a quick and fast, easy way of figuring out what the right way to go is. So you, yeah, I mean, you think they're close to one another, but when you put them in context, you're like, oh, this is definitely better. So I want to have more good stuff in my arsenal, not less. Because and what's so good about it is that you know that these sound sets have obviously the sound of Sonic Underworld and Luftrum there, so you know you're in the same kind of a ballpark, as long as the sound set is kind of serving a similar-ish sound world. You know, okay, I can pull these side by side and you know, find my perfect sound for this part. So yeah, big fan of this. In terms of I mean, everything we really touched on here was really solid. I really liked the bass lines. They were super, you know, instant, like cue creating, tension creating, super refined, very ready to go. Wouldn't need much work in a mix as long as you pair it with the right things. ARPs, super nice. Pretty impressed by the basses as well. We very briefly touched on those, but yeah, I mean, I'm just going to repeat myself if I'm going to say what was my favorite. But yeah, remarkably consistent. So that's a really good sign in terms of their development and growth as well. All right, let's end this here. If you have this at home or at your studio, let me know what you think of this, and if you want to drop any comments or anything like that regarding this video, do so down in the comments. I'd love to hear those out. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Finished.